Hello, my name is Kaelene. Welcome to the Book Buddies. I apologize if this introduction is horrible. I don't exactly have a tripod that I use anymore because I haven't made videos in a long time. But I kind of got a new bookshelf and I wanted to show it off. So let's get into that. Okay, so I'm just gonna give you a general overview of what it looks like. Kind of tried to organize it by color, at least to that point. Down here is some unread books, and then chilling over here are like cookbooks and stuff. I've got some C.S. Lewis books and my only Tolkien book up here. This is actually a photo album that my husband's grandmother made for us. It's got a bunch of adorable pictures of him as a kid, and I love it. And then there's my Harry Potter books that I've read thus far. I have another one chilling near the bottom of the shelf. This is a gift from Robert's other grandparents, who are notorious for giving horrible gifts, but actually gave that to us for Christmas, so I think they did good. These giraffes actually came from a concert we went to. They had lots of vendors, and I couldn't pass them up. I thought they looked amazing. This one has been here since my last bookshelf tour. It's just a message in the bottle. I still don't remember what verse it is. Some seashells. This is a candle. This is a little dude that my husband carved for me because he got into whittling for a little bit. I think he kind of looks like Gandalf. Finally, we have my smiley face guy and a little minion. My Jesus sign, which I still have. I believe my Why You're So Awesome book from my friend was also in the last video. A little wolf and a turtle, and that's an amethyst to go with my purple shelf that almost looks blue right now. This is my TBR jar that I have not drawn from since probably the last time I was consistently making videos. I'm still in the middle of Uncle Tom's Cabin. Finally, a little sign that says I love you to the moon and back. And then down here is another one. It says other things may change, but we start and end with family. That's all the decorations I really have, unless we count, sorry it's bad down here, the couch is blocking all the light, a recipe box from a wedding shower. So anyway, that's kind of the general overview of the first bookshelf. Then down here we have our entertainment center, which the bottom shelf has been devoted to books. These books were still in the house when we moved in, so I don't really know what to do with them. And then these are just books that I haven't gotten a chance to read yet. Notably, I also have this Monopoly game that we got from Barnes & Noble, which looks super awesome. And then finally, way back in here on my nightstand, I have a small pile going. Also, shout out to our adorable and shy pupper. This is Tara. She's sleeping. She's so cute. Anyway, I feel like she's a worthy addition to the bookshelf tour. Maybe if she actually wakes up at some point, I'll get more shots of her being cute and adorable. Okay, so to start the actual tour of books, we have The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by Mere Christianity, Out of the Silent Planet, Paralandra, and That Hideous Strength, which is a trilogy, and Random Video Bomb by my bookmark. Then we have The Great Divorce, Of Other Worlds, Essays and Stories, Till We Have Faces, and then the entire Chronicles of Narnia. All of those are by C.S. Lewis, because that is my C.S. Lewis stack. Then over here we have my Harry Potter books 1 through 5. So that is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, and then Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. I have the 6th one, like I mentioned earlier, which we'll get to at the end of the shelf, and then I don't have the 7th one yet. Okay, over here in my white and kind of black and multicolored shelf, we have Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen, and I would love to get the rest of the books like this. I think they're very pretty. The first 2 books in the Final Empire series, which would be Mistborn and The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson in the UK covers, of course. Afterworlds by Scott Westerfeld, which I just finished reading not too long ago. Leaving Time by Jodi Picoult. Fairy Tale Weddings by Debbie Macomber. The Perfect Christmas, also by W. May Comer. The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society by Mary Ann Schaefer and Annie Barrows. The Best of Me by Nicholas Sparks. Between Shades of Grey by Ruta Sepetys. To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. And then Oh, the Places You'll Go by Dr. Seuss. Over here in the next shelf we have a series by Lurleen McDaniel. It is the Angels in Pink series. It starts with Raina's story, then goes to Kathleen's story, and then finishes with Holly's story. After that is The Girls of Lighthouse Lane, Catherine's story by Erica Tamar with illustrations by Thomas Kincaid. The Longest Ride by Nicholas Sparks. The Search for Joyful by Benedict and Nancy Freeman. Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurtry. Journey of Hope by Lurleen McDaniel. The Imposter Bride by Nancy Richler. Acclaimed 2011 poetry collection, which I'm in there somewhere from like an 8th grade poem. The Rhino with Glue-On Shoes and Other Surprising True Stories of Zoo Vets and Their Patients. Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. The 17-Second Miracle by Jason F. Wright. Carlsbad Caves and a Camera, and it's by Robert Niemeyer. Mrs. Mike by Benedict and Nancy Friedman. This comes before The Search for Joyful. They're in the same series. The Golden Filly Collection 1 and The Golden Filly Collection 2, both by Lorraine Snelling. Over here I have my few yellow books. Torn to Pieces by Margot McDonald, but it's yellow on the spine. Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. A Pioneer Christmas Collection by authors like Lorraine Snelling and Margaret Brownlee. Trading Christmas by Debbie May Comer. And The Secret Life of Bees by Sue Monk Kidd. Oh, I almost forgot about this one. This was a necklace that Katie made for me, and it has a trident and the beads featured in Percy Jackson and the Olympians. So starting this section, we have True Love, 3 novels, Don't Die My Love, I'll Be Seeing You, and A Rose for Melinda by Lurleen McDaniel. Heart to Heart by Lurleen McDaniel. Junie B., First Grader, Boss of Lunch by Barbara Park. Rook by Sharon Cameron. The Lightning Thief by Percy Jackson, which is the first book in the Percy Jackson and the Olympians series. The Lost Hero by Rick Riordan, which is the first book in the Heroes of Olympus series. All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. Catch a Falling Star by Kim Culbertson. The End of Forever by Lurleen McDaniel. The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank. The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. Patty Big Sky by Kirby Larson. Schoolhouse Brides, which is 4 books by Wanda E. Brunstetter, Joanne A. Grote, Yvonne Lehman, and Colleen L. Reese. Orchard Valley Brides by Debbie May Comer. And Catch Rider by Jennifer H. Line. Then over here in the dark blue, kind of purpley side of things, we have Mrs. Miracle by Debbie May Comer, The Memory Book by Laura Avery, There Will Come a Time by Carrie Arcos, Aragon by Christopher Paolini, Love Letters to the Dead by Ava Delara, and The Sword of Summer by Rick Riordan, which is the first book in the Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard series, and the Angels trilogy by Lurleen McDaniel, which has Angels Watching Over Me, Lifted Up by Angels, and Until Angels Close My Eyes. Down here in the more purple shelf, we have Go Set a Watchman by Harper Lee, The Brides of Webster County by Wanda E. Brunstetter, which includes Going Home, On Her Own, Dear to Me, and Allison's Journey, The Time of My Life by Cecilia Ahern, The Girls of Lighthouse Lane, Rose's Story by Erica Tamar and Thomas Kincaid, National Velvet by Enid Bagnold, and then The Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer, which includes Cinder, Scarlet, Cress, and Winter. This is the kind of brown and blackish portion, and it starts with Because of Winn-Dixie by Kate DiCamillo, High Society by Allie Carter, Tempo Change by Barbara Hall, and The Maze Runner by James Dashner. Then we have The Giver by Lois Lowry, The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak, Once Again by Liz Braswell and Cameron Doki, The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken, Magonia by Maria Devana Headley, Queen of the Tierling by Erica Johansson, and then my only graphic novel, V for Vendetta. Now starting in on the unread books, Carlsbad Caverns, The Story Behind the Scenery. It's mostly a bunch of pictures, but I haven't looked all the way through it, so that's why it's down here. World War I Love Stories by Gil Paul. I read part of it, but not all the way through yet. It's depressing. The Lace Reader by Brunonia Barry. The Melody Lingers On by Mary Higgins Clark. Congressman Lincoln, The Making of America's Greatest President by Chris DeRose. And The Heritage of Lancaster County by Beverly Lewis, which is all 3 books in that series. The Still Point by Amy Sackville. The Girl from Venice by Martin Cruz Smith. Why We Read What We Read, a delightfully opinionated journey through contemporary bestsellers by Lisa Adams and John Heath. Cowgirls, Women of the American West by Teresa Jordan. Positively Beautiful by Wendy Mills. In the Shadow of the Ark by Anne Provoost. The Hammer of Thor by Rick Riordan, the second book in the Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard series. The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold. Dear John by Nicholas Sparks. The Shadow of the Moon by MMK. Juvie by Steve Watkins. The Program by Suzanne Young. One Perfect Spring by Irene Hannon. As a disclaimer for this small section here, these are books my husband picked out, but they still wound up on the shelf. So I might never ever read them, and they might not ever get read. That doesn't mean they're bad books, they're just not really my thing. The first one is Rebel Souls, Walt Whitman and America's First Bohemians by Justin Martin, which is a possibility of being read, I don't know. The Double Eagle by James Twinning. Blood Flag by Steve Martini. The No Rule by Robert I. Sutton. Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. And How Starbucks Saved My Life, A Son of Privilege Learns to Live Like Everyone Else by Michael Gates Gill. Now we are back to the ones I might actually read. Sorry, there's a shadow down here. Once again, the couch is blocking everything in this part, but I will try to bring them out into the light for you. The first one is Save Me by Lisa Scottoline. The Light Princess and Other Fantasy Stories by George MacDonald. The Odyssey by Homer. A Quilt for Christmas by Sandra Dallas. For the King by Catherine Delors. The Readers of Broken Wheel Recommend by Katerina Bivald. A Novel Bookstore by Lawrence Casse. Rose Under Fire and Codename Verity, which I had backwards in my shelf, by Elizabeth Wine. They're one series. 40 Ways to Style Your Hair by Christina Butcher, which is actually my friend's book, but I don't know how to get it back to her because I haven't seen her in a while. Room by Emma Donahue. The Aviator's Wife by Melanie Benjamin. The Queen's Fool by Philippa Gregory. Poisonwood Bible by Barbara Kingsolver. Lazy Bee, Growing Up on a Cattle Ranch in the American Southwest by Sandra Day O'Connor and H. Allen Day. I actually read this one, but I want to read it again. And the best part, where is it? Give me a minute. I'm slowly going over there. She signed it. Isn't that awesome? The first female Supreme Court Justice, and I have a book autographed by her. Before I Fall by Lauren Oliver. The World of Jeeves by P.G. Woodhouse. Kiss the Bride by several authors. Finally, the long-awaited and promised 6th Harry Potter book, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. There she is! Look at that cute puppy! She's so cute! Hi, Tara! Hi! You look sleepy. Are you a sleepy puppy? That's my Tara. Isn't she cute? Okay. Anyway, zoom back out. Down here are the cookbooks. We have the Better Homes and Gardens new cookbook, 16th edition, which promises to be awesome. 5 ingredient family favorites. Not Your Mother's Casseroles by Faith Durand. The Good Carb Cookbook by Sandra Woodruff. Taste of Home Simple and Delicious Cookbook. And then Crockpot Slow Cooker Recipes. This is my recipe box. And the last thing on the shelf is actually a recipe album. Okay, now starting in on the books underneath our entertainment center. For One More Day by Mitch Albom. Shrinking Violet by Danielle Joseph. The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. Girl in Translation by Jean Kwok. Snow Melts in Spring by Deborah Vogts. Princess Ever After by Rachel Hawk, the Royal Wedding series, but it's actually the second one. Whoops. And Storm Siren by Mary Weber, which I'm hoping to buddy read with Katie at some point because she also has it. Moving on to the next stack, we have The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame, Portrait in Sepia by Isabel Allende, Deep Blue by Jennifer Donnelly, Firehorse by Diane Lee Wilson, Night Train to Lisbon by Pascal Mercier, and World Without End by Ken Follett. Over here we have Out of the Rain by Debbie Maycomer, Under the Lilacs by Louisa May Alcott, See Me by Nicholas Sparks, The Flowers of the Field by Sarah Harrison, The Kingdom of Little Wounds by Suzanne Kokol, Little Men by Louisa May Alcott, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, The Summer... Ooh, that doesn't show up at all. The Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy by Jenny Han, which includes The Summer I Turned Pretty, It's Not Summer Without You, and We'll Always Have Summer. Perfect Scoundrels by Allie Carter. It's in the High Society series, but it's the third one, and I don't have the second one. Life of Pi by Yan Martel. And Miracle on Southwest Boulevard by Cindy Him. Finally, for the last stack, over here we have The Lady of Misrule by Susanna Dunn, A Prisoner and Yet by Corrie ten Boom, The 5 Silent Years of Corrie ten Boom by Pamela Rosewell, Ireland by Frank Delaney, When It Isn't What It Is by Al Faisal, Dreamers and Deceivers, True Stories of the Heroes and Villains Who Made America by Glenn Beck, How the Irish Won the West by Miles Dungan, and 1776 by David McCulloch. Finally, back here on my nightstand, I have the journal I am currently writing in, which I'm a good portion of the way through already. My Bible that I take to church, God's Answers for the Graduate. This one's a fun one, The Dictionary of Misinformation by Tom Burnham. And then lastly, it's a couple's devotional Bible that my parents gave my husband and I when we got married. And I almost left out the one I'm currently reading, which is Wednesday Letters by Jason F. Wright. And then my husband started and kind of petered out on Flint and Silver, a prequel to Treasure Island by John Drake. Anyway, that is all the books that I can think of in this house at the moment. There's the bookshelf tour of my new bookshelf. Thanks for watching. I did not plan this out very well. Did I read this one? After that is The Girls of Lighthouse... Friedman. That messes me up every time. Because of Winn-Dixie by Kate D. Camillo. Heist's Queen of the Tearing by Katarina Bevald. How the Irish Run the West. So there's the bookshelf tour of my new book shelf.